Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we finally learn and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, it's back into Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our play by email challenge with the devilish Mr. Lodrick, and he's been devilish indeed. We shall see what he had in store for us January 28th and January 29th of 1942. This is going to be the combat resolution. Now, I didn't do quite as long of a setup for this turn this time. I just wasn't able to. We'll go a little more in depth on the next setup video. But the basic idea was, hey, we've got new British carrier, British battleship. They're heading down towards the Arabian Sea. And then eventually we'll see, maybe out into the Indian Ocean. Um, We've also got all kinds of equipment that's heading off the U.S. West Coast to try to get down and fortify in the back, Haiva and Tahiti, towards the front, Suva especially, Pago Pago, Nomaya. So I've got things coming in. I look at it as New Zealand, Tahiti, Haiva is the secondary line. The front line is Nomaya, Suva, Pago Pago, and then around to Christmas Island and also Palmyra, and then up to Pearl Harbor. And that's just kind of our iron fence, I like to call it. And we try to hold the first one. We set up the second one, and then we try to fortify the first one, and make it very difficult for Lodrick or any other Japanese player to push beyond those boundaries. We've got big problems in Little China. We're surrounded in a few places. We've gotten the crud bombed out of us. When I say surrounded, we're not entirely surrounded. We're trying to find a way out of certain places where he's got us partially cordoned off from where we'd like to go, and so we're trying to do that. He's sitting in Singapore. We'll see if he takes it this turn. It's very possible. That's a huge point loss for us when the Japanese player does take Singapore. He's taken most of the Philippines, or the Philippines that matter. He's still got to take some bases on the southern island of Mindanao, and then all of the little islands that are in the middle between Luzon and Mindanao. He'll eventually take all of those bases. They're all 1 or 2 points, and there's no way for us to defend them. He will take them all eventually. He has not pushed on Java yet. He does have several task forces in that area. And then he's got his carriers just south of Port Moresby. We'll see what he's up to with those this time around. But let's jump into it and see what happened. January 28th and 29th, 1942. It's go time. I'm still here, just watching along with you. All right, this is a Dutch sub. And it looks like he found us again. We have just not been finding his cargo. He's been finding us. A lot of these have been ASW attacks, and you see that ASW attack. Now, he doesn't hit us with the PB, but he's doing a good job of finding our subs, and we're not getting any joy with his shipping, that's for sure. Those Dutch subs have taken a lot of hits. I mean, they've dished out a little bit, but nowhere near what I'm used to, especially against the AI. Daytime. Okay, same old story here. We've got a Dutch sub. We've got a Japanese PB. Yep, nothing happened here. Nothing even got dropped. He couldn't find us. He thought he spotted us, but then he couldn't locate the sub. All right, you can see the task force is coming around to Singapore to help with that part of the invasion. A lot of ships there at Bali popping. Okay. We're seeing Japanese ships out by Cox's Bazar, Calcutta area. All right. We start the sweeps in China. So 13 zeros coming over. He's searching around for where we may have those flying tigers. Now, in the setup, I talked about we've got them actually at this base. There's not many of them. There's only 4 that are ready at this point. So, he's looking around for them. We did get, and we do have a few up in this area too. We've got a couple of, I think only 2 that are ready. One gets up in the air. That probably got shot down as he sweeps over. Yep, H-81A3, one destroyed. Now he's looking here with Oscars. Sweep, sweep, sweep. And now he's looking at Tonggu for the other flying tigers, which are at Rangoon. So we have some in China. I took one of the squadrons over into China. That's not worked out particularly well. The other 2 are here at Rangoon, but historically they were based at Tonggu, and so he's looking at Tonggu to try to find them. All right, here they come in. They're going to get up in the air. He's got us outnumbered. 31 Oscars over the top of Rangoon. We've at the moment got 5 Flying Tigers up. Let's see. We end up with 8. All right. See how this turned out. Nobody lost anything. Interesting. I mean, that must have been a hell of a dogfight if you were down on the ground watching it. 31 Oscars, 8 Flying Tigers. Nobody lost anything. All right, 2 zeros. Again, snooping around, just trying to figure out where the heck we have these Flying Tigers. He's looking in Yan'an again. Little does he know he destroyed the only one that was there. All right, 52 Bettys now bombing Bataan. Uh, we're getting flak up. We've got a lot of flak in this hex. We'll see if it does anything. Well, it damages 3 planes. Okay. There were severe storms out here, weather in the hex. That usually, when there's severe storms, very hard for bombers to hit their target. And in this case, they did not. All right, 3 Mabels coming in to bomb this group trying to get up to Hanyang. Nothing happening there. But he comes in with a secondary force, 26, 47 bombers altogether. No Japanese losses. What was the weather here? Heavy rain. Okay, and you can see, when there's heavy rain, severe thunderstorms, etc., tough for those bombers to get on target, and they didn't there either. 25 Sonia's coming in on this group. This is one of those groups I said we're trying to get around him somehow. We're trying to find a gap, and he keeps blocking us off. 55 casualties, 3 damaged planes. All right, into Yan'an with some big bombing group there. Wow, we damage 4 planes. We take 123 casualties. He's got a huge number of bombers coming into Yan'an. Southeastern China, 30 plane, 30 bombers here. We take 29 casualties. Okay, Southeastern China, another 50 bombers or so. 1 damaged plane, 101 casualties. All right, 6 ands hitting this group, 14 casualties. The Idas coming over Aicheng here. Going to snoop around a little bit, see if we have any aircraft there. We did take 15 casualties. The Ida is a bomber. Mary Ann's, Ida's in on this group that's trying to get out of Loyang. We got a lot of flak in that group. We did destroy 1 plane by flak. It says 3 damaged. Okay. We took 134 casualties. All right, Idas and Ans in on the group that's north of Kukong, trying to get back to Hanyang. One damaged plane, but again, there was bad weather down there. Here come your Tojos over Changsha. Just doing a little air show for the citizens of Changsha. Two Oscars over Hanyang. He's looking at Tonggu again, looking for our fighters. Now he's coming into Rangoon. We are going to get Cap up. Now this was a draw last time. Nobody lost anything. We were outnumbered 31 to 8. This time he's got 8. We've got, well, we're showing 2 right now. Let's see if we got more up in the air. He's only showing 7 now as he gets over target. But one of those must have just turned around and left because he didn't lose anything. We lost 1 flying tiger there. Overall, that's pretty good for us at Rangoon. We've lost 1 plane. He hasn't lost any, but he also hasn't. The bombers haven't tried to come in yet, but as long as we can keep getting Cap up there and he can't bomb the airfield, that's good for us. Yan'an, 3 damaged planes, 14 casualties, thunderstorms. That's why he's not doing as much damage this time. All right, this group trying to get out of Loyang. He's got Ans over the top of them, 28 casualties there. Nine Sonias bombing the group in southeastern China. Okay, 9 zeros snooping around. He's really looking for more Cap there in China. He thinks we're going to bring in more fighters. I don't really see the utility in it. They're just going to get shot down. I would much rather protect Rangoon at this point. We'll try to sneak fighters in from time to time in China just to give, hoping that he runs some. Oh, okay. Let's talk about his carriers. Coming in on Port Moresby, you can see the Death Star symbol. He's got 13 zeros, 83 Kates, 82 vowels. That's a huge bombing force. You can see we're getting flak up in the air. Let's see if it does any good. He's trying to bomb the crud out of the port. We damage 4 Kates and 3 vowels, okay, but he gets 12 airbase hits, 4 airbase supply hits, 22 runway hits. That hurts. Port hits 11, port supply hits 1. Okay? I mean, we just don't have any good way of protecting Port Moresby. If he's going to have his carriers down here, there's just no good way about it, really. We've got those American Warhawks, but they're just not, they just don't have good enough pilots. Uh, there's not enough of them. But, we're going to have to throw up some kind of cap before he completely destroys the port, which would essentially just give him Port Moresby because we wouldn't be able to get any supply in at all. We're having a hard time doing it as is. Okay. Well, we got Dutch sub, Japanese destroyer. Dutch sub takes 2 hits. He had 2 destroyers out here. So again, it's really, sub attack. We found him, but we found destroyers, not cargo ships or transports, which is what we're looking for. Dutch sub, meet, Japanese PB. Nothing happened there. It was an ASW attack. He found us. Okay, here's the invasion of Singapore. Oh, I say the invasion. He's already invaded. Here's the assault on Singapore. Let's see if he can take it. I think he'll be able to. I mean, you look at the strengths here. He's certainly got us um, wildly outnumbered and outgunned. Can we hold it one more turn though? No, we can't.
Hello,
And
all you
Japanese
poor GIs and Marines.
forces have
This is
now taken
Orphan Anne at
Singapore,
Radio
which
Tokyo, bringing you some
will
hot
always
music
happen in
and
every
another
game.
blow to your
But
morale.
we'll
Today,
see
our
how
High
many
Command announced
troops
that
we actually
the
had
ever
surrender here.
victorious forces of the Japanese Empire have
You can see
captured
them all
Singapore.
surrendering. I'm going to try to speed this up just a little bit. All right. He came in with 84,000 troops. We had 30,000 or almost 30,000 troops. He had us, more than 2 to 1 in guns. Vehicles actually not that bad. Our assault value is down to 122. Okay. He had 2578. Came in. We had a fort level 2. The assault odds were 4 to 1. He did take 913 casualties. That's not great. We took 17,500 casualties. He had worn us down through the previous attacks and just didn't have enough left. I mean, we had a lot of men with not a lot of assault value left. So he's now taken Singapore. That's a huge, you'll see a huge point swing when that happens. He's now assaulting Leh. He did not get good odds there. He took 28 casualties as, wait a minute, was this just a bombardment? No, it's a deliberate attack. He tried to take it. We've got a little bit there. I mean, we've got these two little small groups of troops. He took 28 casualties. We took none. All right, this is that same group up in Malaysia. They finally surrendered. All right, guys, wait a I mean, they held out forever. They were trying to be partisans up there. There were only 790 of them left. All right, now we're into the expansion phase here, as we'll now be jumping into January 29th. So January 28th, Singapore falls earlier than it did historically. Yeah, it's interesting how games try to model the fall of Singapore because, if you ever read anything about it, the Brits and what Indian troops and Malaysian troops were there actually had the Japanese outnumbered, but the commander did not think so. And really, acted very scared. Eventually surrendered in a case where he probably didn't have to. And so it's hard for games to model that because if they give you the full strength of those forces, the Japanese may, would have to bring half their damn army to take it. Well, that may be a little hyperbolic, but they'd have to bring a lot. I believe you get a penalty at Singapore because of that. Okay, we've got some aircraft moving around. We saw some of the things that arrived. We're about to flip over into the next day. All right, he occupied that little island out there. Okay, it did flip over. It is now January 29th, 1942. One of our Dutch subs has temporary flotation that's not flotating. All these phases. What a game. Once again, Japanese destroyers find Dutch subs, or we found him. Either way, we found the wrong thing, and we get nothing. Okay, we launched 4 torpedoes at the destroyer. Destroyer dropped some depth charges. We saw that, but no hits. Okay. Now we've got a Japanese sub out here. Now, luckily, it looks like we found him with the destroyer. Let's see if we get any hits in on him. So our destroyer, it was an ASW attack. Our destroyer, the Clark, found the Japanese sub. Now this is out here. You see the Panama Canal, Pearl Harbor's right over here. We found him, but unfortunately we didn't do any damage to him. This is one of the escorts for a big cargo task force. Did we find another one? We did. This time we've got 2 destroyers in this group at least. We've got a hell of a lot more than that actually. This is the um, one of our bigger task forces here. I actually think this has got the carriers in it, and we've got a bunch of destroyers out here. We went after this sub, didn't find it, but this is why you have escorts because they find them first. You don't want him finding the carriers. So anyway, we have found a Japanese sub out there. We haven't damaged it yet. We'll see if we can get to it. Okay, we're starting to uncover subs. Now, why is that? Because our dauntlesses are up in the air and we're finding all of his subs because they're running missions here. Dauntlesses attacking subs. You can see Japanese submarine is reported hit. That's just a report we're getting. That won't show for our points. But look at this. We've uncovered his entire picket line of subs because we've got our carriers coming through. Um, that's awesome. Okay, I mean, assuming his subs don't get anything off on our main ships, and it runs into destroyers first. This is great. We'll know exactly where all of his subs are. 9 zeros outside of Nanyang, just snooping around. As we know, we could sit here and talk about sweeps all day. He does it every time. He sweeps over. He makes sure we don't have cap. Then his bombers come in. That's the way you do it. 51 Bettys now. One got damaged, didn't do any damage to our troops. All right, this is the group trying to get back up to Hanyang out of Kukong. He's just snooping over the top here with some Mabels. Now he's got Anne's, Ida's, Lily's, and Sonia's coming in, and a lot of them. Let's see if he did any damage. You can see it's now clear sky in this hex now that it's January 29th. Damage 1 plane, 14 casualties. 51 Sonias on this group that again is just trying to find a gap in the lines here to get back on side. 4 damaged planes, 134 casualties. 21 Lilies, 9 Anns into southeastern China. No Japanese losses, 49 casualties on the ground. Same stack getting hit here with 47 bombers. Okay, 1 damaged plane, 37 casualties is what we've been told. 6 Anns. What is this? About 50 bombers coming in. The group trying to get out of Loyang. 75 casualties, no planes damaged. 20 Ida's going to hit that same group. Nine Anns here. 1 damaged plane. Into Changsha, snoop about with some Tojos. All right, 5 Oscars. Looking around, looking for cap. Now he's going to be doing the same into Rangoon. 36 Oscars coming in here. We can't get those Hurricane Trop 2s down here fast enough. 36, two Flying Tigers, but he's just really, he must have his very best fighter pilots here because he's really torn up the Flying Tigers in this game. No Japanese losses, one Flying Tiger. All right, 13 Sonya's in. Southeastern China again. No damage there. It was clear sky, which, okay. All right, 19 Idas over this group. The Loyang stack. One damage plane, seven casualties. Nine Sonyas. All right, into southeastern China. Again, this group, they're trying to get back across the river. This stack, every stack out here is trying to get to that hex. No damages here. It was a little overcast. 13 zeros on the snoop, looking for our cap. I mean, holy cow, look at this. Our Dauntlesses are, and we're reporting these as hit. Now, are they hit? I don't know. I mean, we won't know. This is our pilots telling us these are our carriers coming through here, and those Dauntlesses are hunting subs. We're finding them. Hopefully, we're hitting them. We're reporting a lot of these hit, whether they're being destroyed or not. Now, those have torpedoes on them, so I mean, they're. I believe we'll have to go look at that, but yeah, I mean, we're attacking these subs and we're reporting now five or so of them hit. He had a whole picket line along there. I took the carriers back to the U.S. West Coast originally just to train up some pilots on carrier capable aircraft. I'm bringing them back out. We're getting the secondary benefit now of just going through all of his subs and attacking them with planes that are good at attacking subs. So it's working out quite well. I mean, if we believe what we're reading, we've hit at least five of his subs. Have we really? I don't know. You guys will know better than me if you're watching Lodric's videos. I hope so. We need the momentum switch. Land move attack phase. We'll see if there's anything else to do. I mean, he's already assaulted Singapore. Oh, he's hitting our group that's just northwest of Cyan here. Now, okay. Looking at the numbers here, these guys got ripped up getting kicked out of Cyan, right? It's also the Red Chinese Army. Mao Zedong is in here. 5th War Area, 8th Group Army, 22nd Group Army, which is all part of 5th War Area. Looks like he's got a lot of strength. 23rd Division, 14th Division, 40. I mean, he's got four full divisions that he's moved out of Cyan here to attack us. Let's see how this all plays out. You can see us getting chipped away. We're obviously, he is a little bit too. You can see the numbers counting down. We're obviously going to be the ones retreating, and we'll just have to see how much damage we took there. I'm actually surprised he took Cyan last turn and just moved immediately out, trying to push us up and away from him. So we got all these retreats. Let's see what the the losses were. He had 61,000 troops. We had 33,000. 1988 to 548. Once they adjusted everything out, 1606 to 284. It was 5 to 1. He lost almost 3,000 men. We lost about 7,000 men. So overall, that was actually a pretty decent result for us, given the two groups that were fighting there. And certainly because the Japanese have much better troops and equipment than we do. All right, we're into the fortifications here. Seward, Chittagong. These are definitely places you want expanding. Madras. He's going to move some oil and resources about. We'll see what arrives. Always the most exciting part of the turn. What new stuff did we get? All in all, I think pretty good turn, especially if some of those subs went down. It could have been a really good turn for us. Now, we did lose Singapore, but you're always going to lose Singapore. We lost a little bit sooner than we would like. He did a good job getting there quickly. Um, but yeah, I mean, if we knocked out three or four subs, something like that, that would be really helpful for us at this point in the game. And our carriers are still out there. I mean, you can see his whole picket line there. Um, all right, we're getting some bombers. We're getting RAF base forces, 221 and 224. And that's it. So when we come back next time, we'll go over all the stats. I'll do a longer setup for the next turn. This one I didn't, I just kind of did a big overview. But next time we'll go look at some interesting places on the map. Anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. It's always my pleasure. Have a good one.